The shifting of Professor Richard Katz. I want to begin with reading the last email Professor Richard Katz sent Pastor William Brown. Like Professor David Bunis, Professor William Katz sent a blind copy of the email to Pastor William Brown. Now pay close attention. The email says, "Greetings, William. This week I received several emails inquiring about my conclusion regarding the pews. And I must be honest, many of those emails were not happy about it. In fact, last week I received an email from one particular individual asking for my credentials and place of employment, in which I shared with them. I want to reiterate, this hate group called the Urban Apologists contacted Professor Richard Katz's place of employment. The email goes on to say, I received an email from one particular individual asking for my credentials and place of employment, in which I shared with them, and earlier this week I was informed by the university that someone emailed the administration stating that I was promoting and associating with a Hebrew Israelite hate group in the United States. I'm writing you to inform you, and I wish you nothing but success on your journey in reference to the pews. But at this time, any translating of any future pews or projects I won't be involved in." See, this hate group contacted the university, Professor Richard Katz's workplace, and lied, stating that he, the professor, is associating with a Hebrew Israelite hate group. They lied, stating that Pastor William Brown is connected to a hate group called the Hebrew Israelites. I want you guys to understand the depth of hatred these guys are operating in. Really think about this for a minute. The biblical name or phrase Hebrew Israelite is now viewed as a term of hatred. The email goes on to say, I am writing to inform you, and I wish you nothing but success on your journey in reference to the pews. But at this time, any translating of any future pews or projects I won't be involved in. In regards to the pews that you sent me, they are recorded and on record regarding Solar Trio and Hebrew Square. I stand on my conclusion, but this email will no longer be accessible. What caused the shift? Why are we seeing a repeat of history? Who contacted the employers of Professor Katz? A major red flag in Professor Katz's response is this, stating I was promoting and associated with a Hebrew Israelite hate group. What, or should I say, who is the common denominator? The common denominator is Abdelmasih Aman-Hatani. I refer to Abu as the Alfred Hitchcock of the urban apologetic community. Because of his creepy greetings, he starts every video with,
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening.
Greetings, 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 greetings.
He contacted Professor Bunis in his attempt to play the role of good cop, bad cop. This method is similar to the Trojan malicious virus. The Trojan virus appears to be a harmless application until a specified date. It tricks computers and virus protection programs believing that it's not harmful to it. It then activates its compressed malicious applications and commands to take down that system. This is a very sick and demonic group of so-called Christians. This is Abdelmasih Aman-Hatani's initial email sent to Professor Richard Katz. Notice how he's probing, or in the technology realm, it's called phishing. Are you Richard Katz? I recently saw a video about a professor named Richard Katz who analyzed some pictures of markings on pews from Georgia and concluded that discernible Hebrew was found therein. If that was you, might I ask you some questions about that? Sincerely, AA. He is the common denominator he is the common link between both professors. The good thing about this professor, he stood by his conclusion and did not waver. He made it clear to Abu and others from the urban apologetic community, all who reached out to him, that he stand firmly on his assessment of the pews. He says in his response to Abu, "Greetings, Mr. Abdel Masi Aman-Hatani. Thank you for emailing me. Yes, I'm Professor Katz, and I'm fully aware and very familiar with the video link you've attached concerning First African Baptist Church in Savannah, Georgia, as well as other videos regarding this subject. I received several emails. Many were upset regarding my conclusion and findings of a discernible language on the pews in Georgia. Not to say that that's your position, but I feel it's best to share with you like I shared with others regarding my conclusion. And also due to my schedule and projects I'm involved in, I don't have the free time in my schedule." The red flag here that really stands out. Many were upset regarding my conclusion and findings of a discernible language on the pews. That is Abu's signature phrase, discernible language. Abu's position on the pews shifted a number of times. Initially, he stated that there is a stronger case for Arabic being on the pews, then to a feast or famine or all or nothing approach. Either the writings are Arabic or not a discernible language on the pews. He shifted from asking for a discernible word to a discernible sentence or phrase. My response to him, "You are an amateur and you are part of a hate group." Who are the many that Professor Katz is referring to? Why are so many upset about Professor Katz's position and conclusion about the pews? The email goes on to say, to go into full details regarding the breakdown and process, let me start with saying this, and I hope this answers your question. To go into full details regarding the breakdown and process, let me start with saying this, and I hope this answers your questions. William Brown didn't misrepresent or misquote my findings of a discernible language on the pews. In fact, upon his request, I gave him permission to share my conclusion regarding the pews. Professor Katz made it clear to Abu that he's given the same response to others, which includes those who are upset about his conclusion that Moray William Brown did not misrepresent or misquote his findings of a discernible language on the pews. The professor also made it clear that he gave Pastor William Brown permission to share his conclusion regarding the pews. His email goes on to say, "My expertise brought me to the conclusion that Sola Trio and Hebrew block letters are on the pews, based on several high-resolution images of the pews that were sent to me by William Brown. Best wishes. Best wishes. Best wishes."